Yes, hello Steve, this is Ray, and I wanted to make a video going over the new website that I set up for you. This is your old website, and we already went over some of the issues that your old website had. This is the website as it stands now. For example, we already talked about how the wood grain doesn't really match the type of service you're offering, your technology, business, and service. And also the website just kind of looks a little outdated. So we already went over these details. So what I want to do now is show you the new website that I created for you. So this is the new website that I created for you. Now on this website, you'll notice that when you land on the home page, the first thing that you see right away is your logo prominently on top. You see your contact details, and you see a real nice rotating slideshow here. And my idea is that we make a really good first impression. You are a technology-based service, so I wanted to really kind of drive that fact home by having different images that rotate. If you'd like, you can provide me the images you'd like used here, and each image can have a headline. So as each image rotates, you'll have a separate headline, a benefit of what you offer. And so it would be a real good idea. I'm going to reload the page now. So you can see that when you land on the website, the slideshow rotates and it'll go through each image and each headline. Also, you have the background here. I just thought that it would be a nice touch to have a textured background. Having a texture background, I think, is better than having a flat background. And then the background goes from dark to light so that you can see the content. And what I have here is I have actually the same content that you have on your website currently here. I just arranged it a little differently. I brought home the fact that what you guys offer and the benefit. I wanted to bring a little bit more attention to this headline right here that you have on top. So basically I kept all of the content the same. I just added a little bit of nice touches here and there as far as laying it out so your eyes are drawn to each individual benefit. We have all of the icons here with the different services along with the Learn More button. Again, same thing that you're doing here, but you can see the new website just does it in a much better way, much more eye-catching. And then I noticed that throughout your website you had different quotes from prominent people in history. So what I did was I set up a quote section. I can change this to say whatever you like. I just put quotes, but this will rotate through different quotes, and you can easily add as many as you like. So if you or your team would like to every now and then add another quote, this thing can rotate endlessly. And then we have your navigation here of the individual pages of your website. Again, I didn't change any content, not one letter. I just took the content that you had on your website already. And then I also set up a separate blog for you because I noticed that one of your team members, Brian, was setting up a blog. He had a blog going, so I set up a separate section for the blog. And then I have your Twitter feed here that rotates through different Twitter feeds, Twitter updates that you've done over time, and it'll constantly stay up to date as long as you add messages to your Twitter account. This is linked into it. So you can see that the website overall makes a much different impression than the current one here. It looks more modern. I also made a different layout of the home page. I'd like you to decide if you like this one that has a sidebar, or I have a full width home page. I think that the full width home page really makes a great impression. That's basically the same thing you see here but without a sidebar. So you can see the full width version does not have a sidebar, and it is more of an introduction to your service without any distractions such as the quotes or the blog links or the Twitter feed. This version of the home page is pretty much more concentrated to what you offer in an introduction, whereas the previous one had a sidebar. That might be a little too distracting. I'll let you decide. I personally like the full width home page. Now if we go here to company, what I can do is show you that again I didn't change any content. I just took what you had already in your website, and what I did was I put a company page, and then if you click through each name, you'll see the picture and the bio. So again, it's a much cleaner, organized way of presenting your team members. And then I have your advisors, the board advisors. You click it down, and then you'll see your board advisors. So, and then every page has a sidebar. That's pretty standard form for websites and navigation. So every page will have the sidebar navigation here. And then I have your technology page. So when we click on technology, and I just noticed that this should actually be before contact us. So I'm going to move this for you, because that should be the order. Contact us should be last. And then we have the technology page. Again, I took what you already had on your website. I just changed the formation around. This is your current website. One thing I don't like about this version that you have here is it goes on and on forever. And it goes on past the sidebar. What I've done is I've set up the same page, but I put tabs here so that everything's more organized. You see that the page, the right-hand content cuts off right around where the sidebar does. But if you click on each one of these titles, you'll see the full explanation. It's just much more organized, cleaner looking, having the page be uniform all the way around, whereas this website here, currently the way it stands, is the content area goes past the sidebar. Just it's an amateur mistake in my opinion. This is much cleaner. So and then we have the blog page. I've taken the blog that your other team member had started, and I made it a little bit more visually appealing. This page will have all the newest blog entries. You'll have a featured image for the blog. You'll have the author information here. You'll have the categories it's under, an excerpt, basically a summary of the blog, and then when you click details, or when you click on the image, you'll go to the entire blog entry. So when you click on it, you'll come here to the full blog post, and then it ends with, this article was written by Brian Dolan. So it has a credit to the actual author with a nice headshot. And then, you know, your team members can actually, if you can give them each an individual login that will allow them minimal rights. So for example, if you want to give some of your team members logins to update their profile picture and maybe add to the blog, but nothing else, they can't do anything else on the website, you can individually set members up that way. So excuse me, I just wanted to let you know that. And then you can scroll through to the second blog entry simply by clicking this arrow here, and that'll take you to the next blog post. And then on the blogs, I have the sidebar with all the navigation to the right, so you can see very neat, very organized. And then we have a contact us page. Again, I'm going to move this link here to the end. But on the contact us page, it's a standard form you fill out, and of course this will be routed to your email. So you can see I basically took all of your content. I just gave the website a much more appealing look, something more up to date. I also took into consideration the correct way of laying out the content, so everything looks nice and uniform. So this is the first version that I made for you. Please click around, take a look. Again, tell me which version of the home page you prefer, and I'll be glad to use that one. I'd like to quickly go over the second layout. This is another version of the site that I made. Let me reload. You can see this one is much more toned down. It's not as intense as this one, and I probably shouldn't use the word intense, that's a little strong, but this one you can see there's a lot more going on in the background, going from black to white. It really just pops out more, whereas this one here starts from the top to the bottom, a light shade. It's a little bit more minimal as far as the background is concerned, but it has the same overall look and feel. So it's really the same site with a different background. I added a touch where the background kind of rotates every few seconds and moves, just to kind of give it that nice little modern touch. So I'll let you decide which version you'd like. Again, keep in mind this slideshow here. It's a really good idea to have images with each one having a headline to your one of your benefits. And if you tell me if you don't like these images, just provide me ones that you do like and I can update it. The website will have a visual editor back panel, same platform your current website is based on, so you're not going to have any learning curve as far as jumping right in and updating the website as often as you like. There will be some tutorial videos I'll make for you to go over some of the finer details of the new site. Thank you so much for your patience, Steve. I look forward to your feedback.